Hello everyone, welcome to VT Data Engineering channel. As part of this video, I am going to talk about iceberg tables in Snowflake. What are iceberg tables? Iceberg tables are a format for storing and managing large datasets in data lakes. In general, data lake stores data in terms of files, Parquet, ORC, Avron, or JSON or CSV. So Iceberg tables will be created on top of the Parquet files, and they look similar to any other table in RDBMS database. And we will see what are several advantages over traditional data lake formats. Iceberg tables ensure data consistency, meaning that any user under querying the data will see the same results, even if the data is being updated concurrently. Schema evaluation. Iceberg tables allow you to easily add, remove, or rename columns in the table schema without affecting the underlying data. This is crucial for data lakes that evolve over time. And we can even have the partitioning on the iceberg tables. So we can take like in a specific column on which we can partition and open format. Iceberg tables use Apache Parquet format for data storage, which is an open and efficient columnar format. And here is the breakdown of how Iceberg tables work. Data storage. As I said, data in Iceberg tables is typically stored in Parquet files within the cloud storage. So that could be AWS S3 or Amazon Blob storage. Metadata management. Iceberg tables rely on metadata files to track the schema, partition information, and data lineage. So this can be, you know, within Snowflake, or it could be other system which maintains the metadata. Catalog integration. Iceberg tables can be integrated with various data lake catalogs such as Snowflake, AWS Glue Data Catalog. The catalog stores the metadata files and provide a layer of abstraction for querying the data. We will be seeing the details about this catalog. Either it could be maintained by Snowflake, or it would be third party where you would be storing the catalog. So we will discuss more in detail. In this particular slide, we see there are three types of tables: external table, internal table. So these are the two tables that Snowflake support, and this is the new one that start Iceberg table concepts that Snowflake is supporting now. And we will see what is the use of Iceberg table and when we use of these tables. In external table, as we aware, so external table, you create external table in Snowflake on top of the data that is sitting out there in the data lake. So in case, if in this case it's just a read only, in the sense Snowflake just reads the data into the external table, and you perform the analytics on top of the data. So even though it maintains the metadata, but it doesn't do any operations, or it can't modify the data on the storage. So, and since there is a network overhead when you have external tables into Snowflake, there will be a slow performance. So it would not be fast enough. And in case of internal tables, you actually load data into Snowflake, and Snowflake maintains the data, in the sense the metadata is sitting out there, the data is sitting out there, and Snowflake offers all other features on this data, like time travel, data replication, security, like any other features that Snowflake offers on the tables. So in this, when do we use external table, when we use internal table? In case if customer doesn't want to store data in Snowflake, we will go with the external table. When snow If customer is okay to store the data and pay for the storage cost, we load the data into Snowflake. So that is internal table concept. And these are the two traditional ones that we have. And we, as we discussed, external table have a limitations, and when it comes to performance, the performance is slow because of the overhead on the network and you are just reading the files. Whereas in case of okay, to overcome that, the performance, now Snowflake started supporting the Iceberg tables. So let's see, how Iceberg tables work. Iceberg tables also created in the storage, like in the data lake. Iceberg tables will be created on top of the data, so that is sitting out there in terms of Parquet files. The metadata is also within data lake or in the storage area. However, Snowflake can create a managed table on top of Iceberg, and it can do the read and write. So, and when it is a managed table within Snowflake, Snowflake maintains the catalog, and it can do DML operations on those tables. And any other features in case of internal table, those applicable for managed tables in Snowflake as well. And there is unmanaged, so the unmanaged table are read only for Snowflake, and we will be discussing in the coming slides how we can establish the connectivity to Iceberg table, and how we can read and write. So these are major differences. And when we use, so I think I forgot to mention, so when the customer doesn't want to store the data, in external table concept, so for Iceberg also it's the same. So actually we are not storing the data in Snowflake, whereas through managed data concepts, so you can Snowflake can do read and write onto the Iceberg tables. So in Iceberg table concept also, you are not storing the data in Snowflake, you are maintaining the data only in the data lake area. So before we start using the Iceberg table in Snowflake, we need to establish the connectivity first. So there are two steps to establish the connectivity. One is configure an external volume. An external volume acts as a bridge between Snowflake and your cloud storage location where Iceberg data resides. It specifies details like storage provider, base URL, and IAM role. So here is a syntax how we can create an external volume. Once we create the external volume, we are going to create once we create the external volume, we are going to create Iceberg tables. And there are, as we discussed earlier, there are two kinds of Iceberg tables we can create in Snowflake. One is managed Iceberg and another one is unmanaged. In case of managed Iceberg table, Snowflake manages the Iceberg metadata within the cloud storage. You specify the external volume and optionally base location of the data storage. This approach allows data manipulation, insert, update within Snowflake. So here is the syntax to create the Iceberg table. We specify the table format as Iceberg, and location is the one that we created in the first step as external volume. Where in case of unmanaged ice catalog, so Snowflake doesn't manage the catalog, so it relies on a separate external catalog. So let's say the catalog is defined in AWS Glue, then we need to configure the uh, external catalog within Snowflake and reference the schema location. So as we already discussed, this is the only read only for data in Snowflake. So choose between managed and unmanaged Iceberg tables based on your needs for data manipulation and existing data governance setup. So in case if we need to do frequent insert updates within Snowflake on Iceberg tables, then you would go for managed Iceberg tables where it is only read only, and you don't need any updates in Snowflake. It's used only for analytical purpose without having any manipulations. Then we can go for unmanaged Iceberg tables. We let's deep dive into these two tables in the next two slides. So managed Iceberg tables in Snowflake. Managed Iceberg tables in Snowflake offer a powerful way to leverage Snowflake's platform capabilities with your existing external cloud storage. Managed Iceberg tables combine the familiar functionality of Snowflake tables with the flexibility of storing data in your own cloud storage account. So as we, I think we already covered this point. So we are storing the data in the cloud storage, not in the Snowflake. However, Snowflake is offering all the features that offered to, like, regular internal tables in Snowflake. Snowflake acts as the table catalog, managing the Iceberg metadata that tracks table schema and data lineage. Even though it maintains, but the catalog is still sitting out on the cloud storage. So this is a self-explanatory here. The data itself resides in Parquet files within your cloud storage. What are the benefits of managed Iceberg tables in Snowflake? Unlike external Iceberg tables, managed tables allow you to insert and update data directly within Snowflake. Snowflake handles all lifecycle management tasks like compaction and expiring old data versions, reducing your administrative burden. Managed Iceberg tables deliver performance comparable to native Snowflake tables, making them ideal for analytical loads. And unmanaged Iceberg tables we already discussed. So the unmanaged Iceberg table in Snowflake provide a way to utilize existing Iceberg data lakes residing in external storage with Snowflake's query capabilities. Unlike managed Iceberg tables, Snowflake doesn't manage the Iceberg metadata for unmanaged tables. You point Snowflake to an external catalog that holds the Iceberg table schema and lineage information. The data itself remain in cloud storage. In case of, as we said, so in any scenario, Iceberg tables have the data within data storage, not within the Snowflake. Benefits of having unmanaged. So leverage Snowflake to query data from your existing Iceberg data lake without physically moving the data. So this is applicable for managed as well, and cost effective. So for suitable scenarios where you want to keep data storage cost under your control, under your cloud provider's management, you can only query data in unmanaged Iceberg table. Data manipulation within Snowflake is not possible. Yeah, I hope you got some good understanding on the Iceberg tables, how they are used in Snowflake, and in what scenario you would be using them. And yeah, thank you for watching.